Man, oh man, there has been so much today, and I truly don't know where to start. So I'm just going to make sure that we start off with a few facts. So a couple of facts that we need to make clear for everyone is that, number one, Director Christopher Wray, when he was appointed to be the head of the FBI, was appointed by Donald Trump. Now, I will agree that I definitely take issue with a number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining, yet we are supposed to believe that you are the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want to go through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job when it came to talking to Senator Booker yesterday. But let's go through some of your failures. So before you were even confirmed, and I think one of my colleague from Georgia, pointed out that you were already targeting career officials so that you could direct illegal firings. Mind you, these cases that you were so upset about, which are the ones tied to Trump, the cases came through his handpicked FBI director. And frankly, when people sit around and say things like, oh, you know, we're happy because now we feel safe, I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists, because I specifically as a black woman definitely don't feel safe. And frankly, my colleagues have been real nice to you today, and I applaud them, but I don't have the same demeanor because I know that multiple colleagues on this side of the aisle have faced death threats. In fact, somebody tried to kill one of my colleagues, and frankly, I don't know if this FBI or under your leadership, if those people would have been caught. I don't have any confidence in you. And if we start talking about the reasons that I lack confidence, we could start with you not just wanting to acknowledge some simple facts. Simple facts like the vast majority of the threats are coming from right-wing extremism. And I know my colleagues have tried to stress this, but I decided that I would maybe do it in a different way. Number one, I have a couple of UCs. Kim Buck, one of multiple Republicans receiving death threats for voting against Jim Jordan as House Speaker.
Without objection.
Another one, Republican lawmaker says she received death threats after voting against Jim Jordan in Speaker's race.
Without objection.
In addition, there was another one from another colleague who now is leaving Congress because they said that they were calling his wife anonymously and threatening her life to the extent that she ended up sleeping with a firearm.
Without objection.
Okay. So here's the deal. How are we supposed to have confidence when you're sitting up here telling the Senate yesterday that it will take you 14 years before you can get the FBI fully staffed to do their jobs? You're also now redirecting resources so that they can go and play ICE agents on the streets. You're getting rid of your most qualified people. And even when it came down to somebody that you consider to be a friend, you were posted up having some fancy dinner to the extent that you posted not only once erroneously, you posted twice erroneously as it relates to catching somebody, and then you want to go and say, let me take a victory lap, because honestly, if it wasn't for parents deciding that they were going to turn in their child, it seems like y'all wouldn't have got there, even though he literally confessed online. So I'm confused about what it is that the FBI is doing except for trying to put on a show for the apprentice or whatever you want to call him. The day after all of this took place, there was domestic terrorism that was taking place at HBCUs. They were targeted. Yet I didn't hear anything from the FBI about what was going on. And again, black people kept saying, how did we end up in this? Because the numbers are so very clear that white supremacy is a problem. And honestly, I've not heard anything out of you today that makes me believe that you're going to do anything about the white supremacy problem, the one that is leading to children being killed, children being shot, as well as members of their community as they're worshiping in their churches.
The time of the gentlelady is
What we just witnessed was one of the most fiery and emotional exchanges yet in the ongoing hearings over the FBI's direction and credibility. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett came out swinging, not with subtlety, not with restraint, but with raw frustration. Her words echoed a sentiment that's been growing across the country. People have lost faith in institutions that are supposed to protect them. Whether you agree with her tone or not, the deeper issue she's raising is one worth confronting. Before we dive into what this really means for the FBI and for America's broader justice system, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these deep dives. At the core of Crockett's outburst is a clash between perception and performance. She's not just criticizing Kash Patel as an individual, she's calling out what she sees as the politicization and hollowing out of the FBI. Think about it. When people at the top of our national security institutions are seen as political loyalists instead of impartial guardians of justice, every investigation, every prosecution, and every press conference becomes suspect. The moment public trust erodes, power starts shifting from justice to politics. That's the real danger here. And if you care about accountability, you should subscribe right now, because this conversation is far from over. Let's be honest, this isn't just about one director or one administration. This is about a pattern of leaders using the FBI as a tool for optics rather than outcomes. Crockett's point about white supremacy threats being ignored hits a nerve. The numbers don't lie. The most consistent domestic terror threat in America today comes from right-wing extremism. Yet there's still hesitation at the top to name it plainly and act on it aggressively. That silence isn't neutral, it's dangerous. It tells entire communities, especially Black Americans, that their safety is negotiable. That's a wound that doesn't heal easily. If you want content that cuts through the noise and unpacks this kind of truth, make sure to subscribe right now. Crockett's frustration also reflects something much bigger: the collapse of confidence in American institutions. When lawmakers openly say they don't trust the FBI to investigate threats against them, that's not partisan, that's existential. It means the foundation of democratic accountability is cracking. You can't have justice if the public believes justice depends on who's in power. The hearings are exposing a deeper rot, one where image management has replaced integrity and politics has overrun professionalism. Stay with us and subscribe, because understanding these dynamics is the first step to fixing them. In the end, whether you agree with Jasmine Crockett or not, her voice represents millions who feel unheard, unsafe, and unseen. Her anger might make some uncomfortable, but sometimes discomfort is exactly what accountability needs. The question now is whether the FBI and Washington at large will listen, or whether they'll keep pretending that everything's fine while the cracks widen beneath them. If you want to keep exploring the truth behind these hearings and what they mean for America's future, hit that subscribe button right now and stay tuned.